Hello, 欢迎来到 Mandarin Slang Guide, MSG, the Chinese learning podcast that tastes great and probably isn't all that bad for you. I'm Josh Ogden Davis, bringing you some words and perspectives that aren't in your textbook. Okay, just a short episode for you today. I'm going to share a couple fun slang expressions in Mandarin that come from different fangyan of Chinese. Now, fangyan is usually translated as dialect, but that's not necessarily true for a variety of reasons. First of all, dialects should be mutually intelligible, whereas fangyan are not. Second of all, you'll hear people say, oh, the fangyan of China sound different, but they're all written the same. No. Wrong. They may use most of the same characters, but they can be written in wildly different ways. Not only reflecting different vocabularies and different grammar structures, but also, at certain times throughout history, reflecting different relationships between the spoken and written word. So the picture is extremely complicated if you walk away thinking that there is one Chinese language and the fangyan are just different versions of that. You'll be doing yourself a disservice. And that's why I'm not going to use the word dialects, I'm just going to use the word fangyan. And the three words that we're going to talk about today are an, xiǎo, and méner. But before I do that, I want to remind you that when I miss an episode, or when I'm late on an episode, or when I only have a short episode, like this one, the conversation is always going on somewhere. Could be on Twitter, could be in our WeChat group. Every couple days, somebody comes up with some slang to talk about, some questions to ask. So be sure to find us online if you want to get more out of your MSG. And I'll put the information on where to find us in the show notes. Now, today's words come from an article from the Beijinger, and it was shared in our WeChat group by a listener named Thierry. And I don't speak French, so I shouldn't say Thierry again. I'll just use their Chinese name, Lai Ji Li. Thanks, Lai Ji Li. Now, this Beijinger article has 20 words and phrases that come from fangyan but are now used in Mandarin, or more properly, 普通话, as slang words. Kind of like how in English we take words from other languages and use them kind of in a slang way, like pronto, or bon appetit, or schadenfreude, which is my personal favorite. Anyway, so we're not talking about those. We're talking about 普通话. And we'll start with an. Now, an is a fun one, and it's very easy because it's basically just I, or me. So you can use it whenever you'd use 我, like 我不知道, I don't know. You can change that to 俺不知道. It's also, I don't know. Now, an comes from some northern fangyan, specifically Shandong or some other provinces in that area. And the character may be pronounced or used slightly differently in different fangyan. One difference between an and 我 is that an can be plural. So an could mean 我 or 我们. But fortunately, if you want to, you can be more specific by adding the 们. So an can be 我 or 我们, but 俺们 is just 我们. Unambiguous. Which raises the question, why? Why can an be both singular and plural? Well, 俺不知道欸. I don't know. Okay, so that's an. And the second one I'll talk about is 晓得. And that means to know something or to be appraised of something. So it's a lot like 知道. As opposed to an, which is a northern thing, 晓得 comes from some southern areas of China like Jiangxi, Hunan, Sichuan, which are southern, but they're not all the way south. There's still more south down there if you keep going. What can I tell you? China's real big. Now, the example sentence in the Beijinger is 我晓得, so that's I know, just like 我知道, 我晓得. But I often hear this one used by itself. Just 晓得 as a reply to someone who was telling you something. Like your coworker says, hey, that project is due tomorrow. You can say 晓得, like a peppy way to say, got it, 晓得. Now, another interesting question. Can you combine an and 晓得 to say 俺晓得 instead of 我知道? Technically, yes. And I just checked online and I found some people using it that way. But I personally would be hesitant to do that since, they're from different areas. It's basically you're mixing different languages. But it is fascinating how 普通话 can be a common space for speech from different regions and cultures to come and mix and mingle and have little confusing lexical babies like 俺晓得. Okay, so that's 俺 and 晓得. So now the last one is méner. Now, literally, the 没 is no or none, just like 没有, it's the same 没. And mar is a door, 门, but with the r on the end, like a northern accent. So 门 becomes mar. So 没mar literally means there is no door. 没mar. But what's the slang meaning? Well, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm gonna make you guess, but I think you can get it. And I'll put the answer in the show notes so you can guess and then check to see if you got it right. 没门, there is no door. What does it mean? 俺不晓得, 俺不晓得. Okay, so anyway, that's 俺晓得 and 没门. Thank you again for bearing with me on this short episode. I'm hesitant to make full episodes without a guest because I'm not a native speaker and I don't want to be just, hey, here's another white guy telling you how to speak Chinese. It's not a great vibe. So I try to keep it short when I'm here by myself. I'll link to the Beijinger article in the show notes. And if you want to keep in touch, find us on Twitter as @MSGMandarin or on WeChat as msgpodcast, all one word. I look forward to seeing you there because I love it when you listen to this podcast. We'll be back with regular episodes soon, but for now, 再见, 再会, 再聊. Bye bye.